How to make the world a better place. To make the world a better place, the first step would be to get rid of all the people who want to make the world a better place. There is no better place, there is no better world. There is no such thing as making the world a better place. This is a phrase that has no meaning in the real world. This world is fine just the way it is. This is as good as it gets. This is the best of all possible worlds, in fact. People who think this way, that there is somehow, somewhere, perhaps in some possible future or in some mysterious other place, something better than this, some world better than this, such people suffer from the error in believing that there is too much suffering in the world, that there is too much pain, and that somehow this sum total of world suffering and pain should be decreased, that it somehow can be decreased or gotten rid of altogether, and if not, there must be some afterlife or afterworld, wherein this better world resides, and where some or all of us might wind up where there isn't any pain or suffering at all. We have just the right amount of suffering in the world as there needs to be. The point is not to decrease the sum total of suffering in the world, but to increase people's abilities to endure and/or overcome it. People who cannot seem able to grasp this simple, elementary, and earth-eternal truth are more than confused and misguided. They are the botched and the bungles. They are the botched and the bungled. And I would conjecture that this class of people includes all 6 billion humans currently inhabiting the planet. Even if I'm wrong, I reserve the right to assume it anyway. This is the best of all possible worlds, as Leibniz proved. Confusion and misdirection as personal problems are solvable, fixable, correctable. They are malleable states of mind. Botched and bungled is a physiological concept. These are people who cannot be helped. Such people, as described above, they are the constitutionally inferior. They are degenerate life forms. They are degenerate in the simplest meaning of the term. They have devolved to a state of incapacity that renders them too soft and weak to cope with life as fact, to cope with life the way it presents itself to us on this planet, in its natural state, in nature, the awesome terror of life on this earth. Unfortunately, this is the vast majority of people on the planet today, and probably who have ever been on this planet in the past. My work doesn't seek to make the world a better place. If anything, I hope to make the world a worser place. That way, humans will have more pain and suffering to endure and overcome, once they get into practicing enduring and overcoming. This world is already the better world itself. This is as good as it gets, and this is quite good enough. There is no nirvana, there is no utopia, there are no messiahs, there is no salvation, because there is nothing to be saved from. There is no heaven, no afterworld or beforeworld either, and no hell. There is no God. There is no heaven or hell or life after death. There's no such thing as a soul. There is no morality. There are no rights. All there is power. The earth itself is heaven itself, and the only heaven that exists or that anyone should dream of existing. Someday soon, when my followers, the followers of these doctrines, take over this planet, and I am arming its dictator with the ideas as to how to run it, arrangements can be made for this project, this grand scheme, which I'm now about to introduce. I want to try to avoid being just another genocidal dictator in history, cleansing the earth of his enemies. So my mode of ethnic cleansing, or better, species cleansing, is a little different than what has been attempted in the past. The people who don't belong on this planet don't have to be killed, actually. Rather than herd them into concentration camps or such like, I intend to build large spacecrafts, like the space shuttle, equivalent of large barges, similar to those Stalin used to load up his surplus peasants onto, then sink in the middle of the Caspian Sea, or was it the Black Sea, and blast these people off into outer space and let them find a better world out there somewhere. Then they're on their own, and their destiny is theirs to find. People who don't... Okay, I call this the Earth Emigration Project. To take all the people who pine for a better world, load them onto large space shuttle type barges, and fly them off into outer space. People who don't think this is the best of all possible worlds and perfect just the way it is need to leave it. They need to be transported off the planet to another planet for this planet's sake, where they can live happier lives. Let them fix that world and make that world a better one, and leave this world to me. Thank you for listening.